A lighting technique popularized during the golden age of Hollywood may not be so useful today. Lighting styles change and transform over time, and what would have been popular in a past generation might not translate well to the current one. Telling a story with contemporary themes requires contemporary lighting, not something of a bygone era. But actually, there's an older lighting method that's still extremely useful today. And when used in a modern setting, it can be a very versatile technique. Butterfly lighting, otherwise known as Paramount lighting, is positioned above and in front of an actor, angled in a way to cast shadows under the cheekbones, neck, and nose. This butterfly-shaped nose shadow giving the technique its name. It was popularized in the golden age of Hollywood and used by Paramount Studios for promotional portraits, and in film itself, the lighting of choice for actresses like Marlene Dietrich. The butterfly light defines the jaw and slims the face. But what makes an old-school technique like this useful today? First, the obvious answer: to create a certain mood. An overhead light is a great option for mood, but we don't always want to obscure so much of the face. We might want something a little less dramatic, while still retaining shadow and shape. Just by bringing our light down into the more frontal position of the butterfly light, we maintain mood with more visibility, which might better suit our intentions for an image. But there's also something more subtle. We initially lit this scene more classically, with the simple aim of lighting both actor and area, utilising a hard, more directed Fresnel light on the face, and set up in the butterfly pattern. In modern cinema, we tend to light more softly, with a more realistic focus on intention and motivation, with any practical lights in the shot, like a lamp or a window, suggesting where our own lights may be coming from. An old Hollywood film may not be lit so subtly, due to both technical limitations of film speed and the trends of the time. So we could get away with calling this scene a nighttime interior. But when introducing modern colour and resolution, a hard key, a bright face, shadows on the back wall, and a softer warm lamp in the background doesn't make much sense. It looks like neither night nor day, a focused hard beam of light more indicative of the sun than the lamp-lit nighttime interior we're going for. A simple conversion from hard, focused key light to a softer one solves this issue. Now it doesn't feel as obviously lit. Switch on a few more lamps, and we've solidified this idea of a nighttime interior to our audience. Our key light still doesn't align with any of the lamps in the shot. Instead of coming from below or to the side, it comes from above. But this is where the butterfly light and top lights in general can be especially useful. We might not give too much thought to this shot of a person walking down a street, but on closer inspection, there's the typical shadow cast by butterfly lighting. This shot was actually lit with a small lantern softbox on a boom, and without it, we're not getting consistent exposure on our character. What we're getting from the existing light on the street is pretty dark. Butterfly lighting gives us a light source for our subject that feels invisible to the audience. After all, a light coming from above in a street-lit setting feels natural to our eye. And the same is true for our interior scene, where we may subconsciously expect light to be coming from the ceiling, regardless of where other practical light sources are shown in the image. We lit this scene with 3 lighting fixtures and 3 bulbs. For our initial old Hollywood look, we started with a single lamp switched on in the back room, containing a Nanlite Pavobulb 10C. Next, we used a Forza 60C and reflector dish, bounced into the ceiling to provide some general ambience to this back room. After this, we introduced our key light. This was a Forza 60C with the compatible FL11 Fresnel lens, which was set to a wider beam angle to cover both our subject and scene. To get a better view of the table and fill in some of our shadows, we attached a Nanlite PavoSlim 120C to a boom arm, using the softbox and grid to control spill, and raised it to a similar height as our Fresnel key. This PavoSlim also functioned as the key light for our modern look. We swung the Fresnel out of the way and turned it off to get the transition between looks seen earlier in the video, leaving just the gridded 120C to light our subject. Finally, we switched on 2 lamps in the near background, containing PavoBulb 10Cs. All of the lights throughout were set to 3200 Kelvin to maintain the warm nighttime interior look. Butterfly lighting has provided a natural feeling and moody, but not too moody, light for our image, and we deduced how to use it in this way by looking back, analysing, recreating, and modernising the light in our scene.